Hello my friends, this is Alien Contactee Linol Anderson here with you guys with a brand new YouTube BitChute video. In today's video, I got one that's going to blow your mind. It's gonna take you deep down a rabbit hole, and I'm gonna tell you some things that you might not want to believe or accept, but it might be a brutal truth of our reality that's soon gonna play out. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the Anunnaki NEPHILIM Wars. Something that's happened here on Earth before in the ancient past, and something that is about to happen once again here in this realm. Oh, that's right. So let's just get right into this, my friends. Make sure, if you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. As I say, subscribe to survive. If you've already done that, make sure you click the notification bell and click all, because I'm heavily shadow banned, and smash that like button. Helps old Lionel out with the algorithms. Now let's just get into this. Now I've covered this topic once before last year, talking about the return of the Nephilim and who the Nephilim truly are. But that was last year before I got more subscribers here. So we're gonna go over the basics for everybody who's new, and then elaborate more on what is to soon come. And I figured this was a perfect time to talk about this, because we've been hearing a lot about the Nephilim lately, haven't we? With all these staged false flag events that are going on, you know, the aliens in Miami, which I already debunked, and now there's more 1050 aliens in Brazil, something I'll have to do another video on later. But that's what they're putting out there, these big Nephilim aliens, they're trying to say, these big tall aliens, and of course they're pushing the fear agenda with everything, right? And perhaps all this fake alien invasion stuff that the powers that be are pushing on us, all the crap, I should say, is to distract people and to kind of sell a narrative to people that these aliens or these Nephilim or giants are the bad guys, yeah? So that way, when the actual event does happen, because trust me, in the coming years, real stuff is going to start taking place. And no, you're not going to see that plastered all over the mainstream media either. But in the coming years, the real events will take place. So what they're doing now with all these psychological operations is they're trying to, number one, put you in fear. And they're trying to control the narrative. So when the real events happen, they'll be able to have a better chance at them winning this war. But what it comes down to, my friends, is there's been a war. We are in the middle of a war, I should say. You see, reality is not what you think it is. We are within a matrix simulation, okay? This is not base reality, and a lot of these wars take place in this realm for beings, otherworldly beings, that are outside of the simulation. All right? And that's what you want to call aliens or extraterrestrials, whatever. What they actually are beings from outside the simulation. They then came down. This realm was created, and then they came down, right? A lot of them came down. That's the Anunnaki. Anunnaki means, based on my research, from those who from the heavens came to Earth. Okay? It could be any being from outside the simulation. Well, they came down here. Not from another planet flying in their spacecraft, but however this technology works. And humanity has found itself in the middle of this big war between otherworldly interdimensional beings outside of the Matrix. And a lot of these wars are being fought here. And, you know, there's always been programming on humans thinking that the giants are the bad guys, right? You see it in all the ancient myths, all the ancient religions, and you see it in the Bible and everything, the Nephilim, right? So I want to show you guys an interesting video to show you some of this history of this war that we find ourselves in, and then we're going to talk about who the Nephilim truly are, okay, my friends? So I'm going to take you back to the Greek times, okay? And I actually have a video to show you guys, so take a look.
Before the gods ruled, there were the Titans, who were like their older relatives. The gods and Titans had a big fight, and the gods won. They then locked the Titans underground, called Tartarus. This made Gaia, the Earth Mother, very angry because the Titans were her children, and she didn't like them being locked away. To get back at the gods, Gaia created the giants. These giants weren't just big, they were enormous. They had legs like snakes and were super strong. Gaia made them to fight the gods and free the Titans. These giants were so powerful that not even the mightiest god could defeat them alone. They needed someone special, someone who was both god and human. That's when Zeus, the king of the gods, thought of his son, Heracles. Heracles was famous for his incredible strength and bravery. He was just the hero the gods needed. Zeus asked Heracles to help, and he agreed. The battle was like nothing ever seen before. The giants used their immense strength to throw mountains and rip out giant trees to use as clubs. They were fierce and scary, but the gods and Heracles were ready. Each god used their unique powers. Zeus threw lightning bolts, Poseidon made huge waves, and Athena used her wisdom to outsmart the giants. Heracles fought with all his might, using his strength and courage to take down the giants one by one. The fight was long and hard, but in the end, the gods and Heracles were too strong. They defeated the giants and proved that they were the true rulers of the world.
There you have it, eh? So, as you could see, the giants, there, the Giganti or whatever, they were rising up against Zeus and all those gods there. Which, you know, when I think of this situation, you know, and, you know, I'm no expert at mythologies or anything. I've been to Greece and stuff, but I still have a lot more learning to do. This is just what I've been taking away from everything. But from my research, Zeus and the other Greek gods, they weren't good gods, okay? They actually had some quite evil tendencies. Zeus, you know, he even liked to do horrible things to the women, like horrible things, forcing himself upon them, you know, stuff like that. Like, they weren't good, let's put it that way. Let's just say they enslaved humanity. That's because these beings are these negative, in my opinion, reptilian Anunnaki who've been enslaving humanity, okay? So, if these giants are so bad, they were trying to overthrow these evil gods. So would that mean that the giants were actually bad if they were fighting against Zeus and these Anunnaki beings? You know, you gotta ask yourselves that. We've been programmed to believe that. Same with the Bible, right? Oh yeah, the Christian community won't like hearing this, but for those of us who've snapped out of the religious matrix indoctrination, when you look at the Bible there, and you look at the Old Testament God, he's not a good guy. You know, he's a lot of murder in the Bible. He was a jealous God. Oh, geez, he even murdered the firstborn of every Egyptian child. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of little babies who did nothing wrong just because they wouldn't worship him or whatever the story is, right? I don't agree with murdering little babies, to be honest with you. I don't know about you guys, but I don't think a true God would do that. I do, however, think an Anunnaki reptilian would do that, which the Old Testament God fits that very perfectly. And if you look hard enough into it, the Old Testament God, Yahweh, is actually Zeus. That's right, you know, they keep retelling the same stories over again, same gods and all these myths, just different names. Yeah, so the Nephilim in the Bible, a lot of people, you know, oh, the Nephilim are bad, the Nephilim are bad. What were they doing? They were trying to rise up against God. And who is God? This child killer that we just talked about, right? So, who are the Nephilim? Are they really bad, is what I want to know, okay? Well, as you guys may know, since you're following me here, I am a contactee of the interdimensional beings known as the Pleiadians. That's right. And I did a little channeling with them, and I did confirm that not all Nephilim are bad, okay? Not all are bad. There are bad ones, yes, but not all are bad. A lot of them are actually people, possibly could be me, possibly could be you watching this right now. You might be a Nephilim. That's right. A lot of us actually hold Nephilim blood, okay? Bloodlines, yeah? From whatever happened in the past. That's right. And, you know, there's a big term that goes around, you know, we talk about all the time, starseeds, okay? I truly believe that a lot of Nephilim are the starseeds. And as you know, starseeds are here to help humanity, right? We want to put an end to the reptilian overlords and the horrible things happening on Earth here. We're sick of it. We came here to change things, yeah? And according to starseeds, we all believe we're not entirely human, right? We are special. We come from the stars, aka outside the simulation. We're otherworldly beings, whether it be Pleiadian or Lyran or who knows, whatever you identify as where your spirit originates from, right? So if that were the case, and you truly are those things, and you came to Earth, you were born in the specific bloodlines because you had an important mission to carry out. Well, if you look at the biblical account there, the Nephilim are the offspring of the gods, or the fallen angels, as some people would call them, that they mated with the women and created this offspring. Well, you know, you look back at these accounts, back to Greek times, everything like that, there's a common theme of the gods mating with the human women and whatnot, okay? And a breeding program that kind of went on. A common theme, okay? And a lot of us are in these bloodlines that carried on today. And of course, you know, when you have a book like the Bible and all these other ancient religions, these books have enslaved humanity, of course, for a very long time now. And obviously they're pushing a narrative, the narrative that they want to control people and what they want people to fear. And that's why you see so much talk that fallen angels are bad, Nephilims are bad, they want to go against God. It's like, they could say the same thing about people like us, that we are bad, we're going against God, stuff like that, when really we're going against these reptilian Anunnaki overlords, right? You gotta think of things that way, my friends. And what I believe is going to happen in the near future is a lot of people who are in these bloodlines, we're gonna be activated, okay? That's what it comes down to. It's already happening. A lot of people in the spiritual communities and the truth communities, whatever you want to call it, we feel something's happening in this realm. And we're calling it ascension symptoms, right, my friends? I'm going through ascension symptoms. We feel it in our bodies. Something's happening, right? We feel the energies coming in because the energies are coming in through the sun, right? We have maybe the Nibiru object getting closer and closer, which is causing all these things in the realm and stuff with the suns going on. And what's happening is the starseeds and the chosen ones, 144,000, whatever you want to call them, were being activated, okay? And a lot of people don't truly understand or grasp what that means to begin to become activated. Everybody believes it, but they don't understand fully what's happening. Well, our bodies are starting to go through some massive changes right now, my friends. Massive changes. And in the coming years, as your DNA continues to be activated, you might turn into a giant, let's just say that. Your true self, that dormant DNA that's being activated, you're going to turn into who you truly are. And we are these beings who come from outside the realm who are giants. Literally. And also, as this Nibiru event nears, it's going to change the atmosphere of this realm. That's called the vapor canopy, which I got a very cool video. I'm going to show you on that in one moment. But all these things are starting to take place, okay? But, and like I'm saying, a lot of us are good. We want to defeat the enslavement, the gods, the god of this world, Satan, right? As Christians will call him, Satan or Saturn, 4D AI reptilians. That's the God that we are in a battle against. Not true divine source God, which is energy, frequency, consciousness, right? That's Christ consciousness. No, we're all for that. We're against the gods, which is Zeus and Enlil, Enki, and all those guys. That's the battle that's taking place here. So, you know, like I said, we see all this programming and the religious texts and the myths and even movies and shows. The giants are always the bad guy. They're trying to spook you right now on the TV with this Nephilim at Miami Mall talk. And don't get me wrong, there are bad ones. There's good and bad and everything, you know. And a lot of Nephilims are actually underground right now, the bad ones anyhow. Well, you better believe it. Once you start doing enough research into this kind of thing, you'll see that the Nephilim, there are some underground, you know. These Anunnaki beings have been genetically engineering and creating a whole race of giants down there. So when the day comes and people start getting activated, they're going to have an army of other giants to take on the good guys, you could say. But they definitely want to make the good guys who do end up getting activated seem like the bad guys. So that's why you see so much programming. And believe it or not, everybody's going to grow in the future. Everybody is. I'm going to show you the video now, and on the vapor canopy. And then we're going to have a little discussion after. Take a look.
They've got a new theory that says a lack of oxygen might have killed the dinosaurs. What? Lack of oxygen. Well, it's interesting. The huge dinosaurs, an 80-foot apatosaurus, for example, had nostrils the same size as a horse. How is an 80-foot animal going to get enough air through nostrils the size of a horse's? He'd be sucking so hard trying to get a breath, it'd set him on fire from the friction, from the wind whistling in there. He couldn't breathe. Well, apparently they did breathe. I mean, you know, dinosaur bones are found all over the world. They did live, and they did get huge. It's interesting when they find amber, which is petrified tree sap, but sometimes in the amber, sometimes they find air bubbles. The air bubbles, when they suck them out and analyze them, are 50% more oxygen than we have today. The air we're breathing now is 21% oxygen. What if it was 35%? If the atmosphere originally was 35% oxygen and double the air pressure, just breathing would be exciting. Because what happens under those conditions, not only does your hemoglobin take on oxygen, your plasma will get oxygen saturated, which means you could run for hundreds of miles without getting tired. I think before the flood came, they had richer oxygen. Things were just different. Maybe you weren't here in America when this happened back in 1987, but baby Jessica was 18 months old, and her left leg slipped down in a pipe. Her right leg came up behind her, and she did the splits. She slid down 20 feet inside an 8-inch pipe. She was down there for 2.5 days. They tore up the neighborhood trying to get that kid out of there, out of that pipe. When they finally got her out, her right leg was completely black from lack of circulation. One of the doctors said, "We have to cut her leg off right now. It's black, no circulation." Another doctor said, "Hey, before we start cutting stuff off, let's try putting her in a hyperbaric oxygen chamber." You know what? Hyperbaric, high pressure oxygen chamber. They put Jessica in one of these things and pumped it up to double normal pressure with pure oxygen. Within a few hours, her leg turned pink. They restored circulation. They finally had to cut off half of her little toe. She would have lost her whole leg had it not been for hyperbaric therapy. These hospitals all over are getting these hyperbaric chambers. The one in Pensacola is a huge one, holds 30 people in an emergency. West Germany is treating stroke patients with hyperbaric oxygen. England treats multiple sclerosis. In France, they treat arthritis. Many countries are learning just simple high pressure cures lots and lots of problems. Just Google it, hyperbaric therapy. You'll be amazed what it can do. People that are given hyperbaric oxygen before surgery only half as many get infections after surgery. They're treating autism and neurological disorders with hyperbaric chambers. Hyperbaric therapy's use as healing tool grows. Here's a single-person hyperbaric chamber. All these pro teams have a hyperbaric chamber. Why? Well, because their injured players will heal twice as fast. And if you're paying the guy $1,000 a minute to go play with a ball, you want him out there playing with the ball, okay? This guy, Zach, somebody's got his own personal hyperbaric sleeping bag. I have mountains of stuff on that. You can buy these for about $6,000, a hyperbaric sleeping bag. But a friend of mine in Oregon's got a hyperbaric chamber. He said, Kent, you want to try it? I said, yeah. He put me in there, shut the door, pumped it up to triple normal pressure, left me in there for an hour breathing pure oxygen. After an hour, he let me out. He said, how do you feel? I said, I feel like running around the world. Let's go jogging. Dr. Kimori in Japan started raising tomato plants with filtered sunlight. He used a mirror system to collect sunlight and send it through fiber optic cable to his plants. So the plants would not be getting ultraviolet light or x-rays, only sunlight, pure light, okay? His tomato plant grew 16 feet tall and produced 900 tomatoes. This is one plant. They moved it to a shopping center, built scaffolding to hold up the branches. They said this thing might produce 10,000 tomatoes. It ended up growing over 40 feet tall and produced 15,000 tomatoes off one plant. They were cherry tomatoes, but his were coming off baseball size. I think maybe the whole earth was that way. I think it had not only a canopy to filter out the radiation, it had increased air pressure, richer CO2, pure gene code, better soil, and the birds chirping is what opens up the leaf cells so they can breathe in the morning. One guy got curious, why did the birds start chirping an hour before sunrise? Well, they've discovered that frequency of the chirp, chirp, chirp opens up the stomata under the leaf. So this guy in Illinois got the brilliant idea to start playing classical music to his cornfield. His neighbors thought he was, half a bubble off a plum or something, Till his corn grew 15 feet tall. He said, what channel was that you're playing?
There you have it, my friends. So as you can see, the atmosphere of this realm is going to change. It's going to cause everything to grow. So does that mean everybody's going to become giants, even if they don't have this Nephilim blood? Well, everyone's going to grow, and I'm just going to give examples. I don't know exactly how it's going to be, but let's say a non-Nephilim person, maybe they're going to end up being 10 feet tall. Let's say you're 5 feet tall now, 6 feet tall. You might end up being 10 to 12 feet tall. Just an example, okay? Person with the Nephilim blood, once their DNA becomes activated and all this stuff happens, we're looking at, it could be anywhere from 20 to 50 feet tall. So we're going to be really giant. You know what I mean, my friends? Just examples. I don't know everything is facts or have 100%. But the Pleiadians did tell me that this is a continuation of this war. And there's going to be a war against good and evil that's been happening this whole time. And these bad Anunnaki, part of the reptilian Anunnaki, Nephilims, giants who they've engineered and put together a war of, they're going to come from underneath the ground. You see, they keep distracting you with the mainstream stuff, making you think these beings are coming from up. Oh, they're going to come from another planet. It's not like that, my friends. We're in a matrix simulation. Nothing's coming from another planet. The aliens that you got to worry about coming from underneath the ground. And it's people, the good guys are people like me and you, light workers. And that's if we belong to these bloodlines. But that's what I mean. It's the humans who belong to those bloodlines who are the true starseeds and whatnot. They are the aliens. We took physical human form, but as the Anunnaki did as well. A lot of people think, oh, Anunnaki, you know, like they're another race of being. Well, they are from outside the simulation, but when these beings come down here, they usually take human form, you know. A lot of them, the bad guys, are shapeshifters, though. But yeah, everything could change once that DNA is activated for us all, you know, my friends. And you know what? You see predictive programming of this in movies. It's interesting. There's a movie that's on Netflix called Love and Monsters. Take a look. That's right. And in that movie, many things turned into giants, from insects to sea creatures. Take a look. There you go, my friends, and it's funny. I think it had something to do with like an asteroid hit or something like that. Maybe predictive programming of Nibiru, because you better believe this is all connected to the Nibiru event that's going to happen in this realm. But that movie, it shows how something happened and all these creatures turned into giants. Now, the average person watching this would think, oh yeah, just a Hollywood movie, just fiction, and would never think twice that that's something that might actually happen someday. But oh yeah, my friends, you're going to see weird and wild stuff. You're going to see some pretty weird stuff happen. Everything's going to grow from trees to animals, creatures, and you yourself. And some of us will be straight up Nephilim giants, up to 50 feet tall. I'm telling you right now, that's what I feel is going to happen. I did the channelings with the Pleiadians. They all confirmed these things with me, that these are all going to happen. When is it going to happen? I don't do dates. Everybody knows that. But it'll happen in the coming years. And when I say years, just as an estimate, not saying I know anything, and I'm not saying it's going to be this date, I'd say within the next 10, 15 years, probably whenever this Nibiru event really kicks off, or some people say a Phoenix event or something like that, it could happen. Different things I've heard, and hey, I think so. I don't think it's happening right this second, though, but I think it will be coming, and I believe the process has already started. That's why we feel these energies coming in and you're having these ascension symptoms. This is just the beginning, my friends. You're going to notice you're going to be going through more and more changes as the years go on. But eventually this event's going to happen, and it's going to be chaos on Earth, of course, and it is a war that we're in. The good news is, okay, that some people will be able to avoid the apocalyptic events that are going to take place in this huge war. And of course, you know, if you look at what happened with the Greek gods and the Bible and all the other myths, of course, God there bringing the flood. If you saw in that video that I showed the Greek, it said they had all these waves coming in and stuff. Well, that's the Nibiru reset. That's why they reset things, to try and kill the giants, because they're the ones who are threatening the power structure of the evil reptilian gods, right? Well, for those of us who are on the ascension timeline and who do not give in to these lower vibrations of fear and raise the vibration, relearn love and allow love into the heart, we could actually manifest a much better world and actually be filtered out of this 3D matrix realm when this reset happens, and we'll pretty much escape this matrix and go to a much better realm based on, or a much higher timeline, according to my research and the channelings here that I've been doing. That's very possible that this is what's going to happen, but many people who go through these changes won't make it because of fear of what's happening to them, and the whole situation, the fear that the powers that be are putting people in. And for those people, when they turn to the big giants or whatever, they're going to have to stay there and fight for their lives against the evil Anunnaki beings. Of course, they're opening up portals to the fourth dimension. It's going to be hell on Earth for a while there, and it's going to be a reset. The Nibiru event's going to reset the Earth, and yeah, whole floodlight scenario, a lot are going to drown, this and that. And then it's going back to Genesis, going right back to the start, you know? We'll bring in a new world order, new one world religion. It'll start all over again. And of course, these beings, for the most part, are harvesting humanity's energy throughout this whole process, as well as this realm is a simulation that the Dark Ones use to harvest our low vibrational energies. So you want to be able to get out of here, rise above in love. The Matrix cannot handle that, because if you're in a love vibration, it's taking up the energy that this AI and reptilians need to run this realm. They can't feed off you anymore, so it only makes sense you're going to be able to escape the Matrix if you can rise above in love and not fall into the fear, which is their food, right? So don't be in fear as I tell you all you guys this, but just be prepared, just be ready. And I actually have a video I'm going to show you some more giant stuff throughout history. And just wanted to say, to end this video, don't be in fear of the giants. Don't be in fear of the Nephilims. Not all of them anyways. Some horrible beings for sure. But just remember, there's good and bad in everything. And you might be sitting here judging and being in fear of the Nephilim when you yourself might hold Nephilim DNA. And you yourself might be a Nephilim one day. And you know in your heart of hearts that you're sick of these satanic, reptilian, astral AI gods and deities who are harvesting our energy and all this horrible stuff in the world. Doesn't that tick you off? Doesn't that make you want to say, no more, I'm having no more of this stuff, I'm rising up? Well, if that's the way you feel, then you, my friend, are challenging the gods. And obviously, they're going to do everything they can to wipe you out and make the history books seem like you were the bad guy. Well, that's what happened to these Nephilims, okay? Even fallen angels. Not all fallen angels are bad, yeah? A lot of us fell to this realm to help the human beings who are trapped here, being harvested. We didn't come here because we wanted to. We did it because we volunteered to save y'all from these satanic reptilian overlords. Okay? Not all are bad. People gotta get the judgment and their ego out of the situation. They gotta learn that not all these beings are bad. Okay? That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll show you that end video now, but before I do, just want to encourage you guys, you know, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and just know I am on Patreon, exclusive content. Tons of great classes down there, and you could even message with me on one-to-one, you know. So the link to Patreon is down below, where you could see all the options of the classes there: occult class, Send 5D class, health class, and my other services on Patreon. Or if you enjoy my work and just like to simply buy me a coffee, just because you want to help support the channel and what we're doing here, link is down below. And do you know what? I might even send you some free videos as well to your email, because I get your email when you send me one. So I'm going to start doing that again. All right, my friends. And what means the most to me is that you just leave a comment down below of support. Means the world. Okay, my friends, thanks so much for watching. And here's that last video on the giants. And you guys have yourselves a good week. Cheers.
This world of ours was not always just ours. We once walked side by side, hand in hand, with a much larger version of us. The giants have been documented, depicted, photographed the world over. The ones you see in these photos were just the last versions of them. As giant as they truly were to us, they were much smaller compared to their ancestors. But we are told giants never existed. That thousands of years of human history, thousands of years of depictions of them, are just works of fiction the world over. Fun fact about the works of fiction, that too is a recent invention by the parasites of this realm. Works of fictions, the novels of fiction, wasn't really a thing until the late 1800s. Another invention out of the Industrial Revolution. Why would our ancestors need to write works of fiction? They had so much of this world to depict, and that is exactly what they did. It wasn't until the more recent times when they told us to dismiss it all as fiction. Just like George Orwell told us, the party, or in this case the parasites, told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. I personally think many of the giants were taken out after the last reset. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, as they say. And humanity, being the resourceful, opportunistic people they are, took the opportunity of the reset to get some of that founded Freemasonry for themselves. Question everything, friends. Until next time.